Welcome to a very ghoulish edition of Cartoon Chat, the animation conversation. Of course, I am one of your hosts, Bryan the Baltimorean, and today I have with me an absolutely disgusting, and I mean horrifyingly disgusting, collection of creeps. Leading them out is the man that apparently has a lifetime ban on ride-sharing apps for, you know what, I'm not even going to talk about it.
Oh, fuck! Fucking scary! Jesus fucking Christ! Oh, God! You know I have a phobia of sexiness! God! Oh, God!
But of course, it's not just us two.
Jesus Christ! Oh, God!
It's
my God! I think my dick's hard.
All right. Calm down. Look, it just wouldn't be the CreepCrew though without.
That's ugly.
Without a couple.
My phobia's cleared now.
I really appreciate you. It wouldn't be the CreepCrew without a couple other creeps themselves. The Sir himself and, of course, Horace's son.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Spooky!
I am, in fact, not a creep.
But it's the CreepCrew. Wait. Whoever smelt it, dealt it. I mean, you definitely...
Check your windows, folks. He might be out there.
Yo, it's the CreepCrew. You know what we're gonna do? We gotta solve that mystery. Alright, who murdered him first? Fuck, it was me.
Well, I did.
Fuck, it was me.
I'd take the L. Guys, of course, we appreciate you for tagging in. If you're new here, Cartoon Chat is our animation-centric conversation. It's hosted by Mark, myself, where we sit back, we discuss a film, a series, a short. We end up having guests, like we have currently right now, and episodes drop each month, twice, and you can find Cartoon Chat, of course, on your favorite podcast service and YouTube. Now,
I just realized that you call it CreepCrew. That name is going to fucking haunt us if any of us gets canceled. I'm just letting you know that right now.
That maybe that's why this thing is set up so perfectly.
So what I'm saying is, once you get canceled, within probably a fucking 5 months.
Dude, tomorrow. What are you talking about? November 1st. Come on.
They're gonna be YouTube essays like Bryan was a part of. Get this. The CreepCrew, how fitting.
And his co-host, K9 report to you, man.
Welcome to America's Most Wanted. We found a fugitive who was a part of something called the
CreepCrew.
Yeah, but, so here's the layout for this Halloween special. Essentially what we ended up doing was we chose a spooky-themed episode, special or short, that was less than 30 minutes, and in fact, if you want to follow along with us, I'm actually going to show you guys the lineup here. Now, this is a little bit looped around the wrong direction. We're going to start with Transformers Animated, follow that up with Billy and Mandy's Jacked Up Halloween, go over to Hamtaro, and wrap up with Mickey's Runaway Brain. All the links on where to watch, we actually can give to you in the description.
On the Haunted Hub, no one can hear you scream. My bad. The entire week of Halloween is Scream Week on the Hub. With the scariest episodes of your favorite shows. And they're coming from inside the television. Scream Week starts Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific on the Haunted Hub.
New Transformers Animated. In the future, humans and robots live in peace, but the Decepticons have come to destroy it all. Can anyone stop the sinister Starscream? Luckily, the city has new protectors. Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and the Autobots. They're teaming up to take down the Decepticons and save the city. Transformers Animated. Each sold separately, actual chase time will vary. Now you can see how it all started with the Optimus Prime and Megatron DVD and figure pack. Transformers.
And now, welcome back to Transformers Animated!
Oh boy!
Gotta talk Transformers Animated, of course, this episode, ladies and gentlemen, Along Came a Spider, Season 1, Episode 9. You gotta tell me, Nick, why'd you choose this one? Now, before we get into it, this was directed by Matt Youngberg. This was written by Marty Eisenberg, and its release date was actually over in, obviously, 2008. Now, Tell me about your love or interest or why you dig Transformers animated. What makes it cool? What makes it legendary?
It's deep because I saw this show as a kid, and this show it's nutty. Like, so I'm a huge Transformers fan. If you're into G1, if you're into Beast Wars, I mean, it doesn't reference Transformers Armada, but it references Cybertron a little bit. You'll love this show. This show was made by the fans for the fans. You got voice actors like David Kane, and the voice of Bulkhead is actually the same one that voices Patrick Star, funny enough. And there's a lot of good talent within the show, and the animations in its own unique style while still retaining what made Transformers special. So that's why I love the series.
Nice.
Yeah. And Tara Strong is in her too. She's the small girl named Sorry.
Absolutely.
Nick, I gotta say, you chose, I think, like, did we get the wrong show? Because you chose the wrong Along Came a Spider episode. The correct one is from for Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes. There's an episode called, there's literally an episode called Along Came a Spider, and that's the episode with Spider-Man in it.
You see, he just doesn't have the same impact as Black Arachne. You know what I'm saying? People love female robotic spiders. It shows on the graph, man.
It shows on
the graph, bro.
Oh,
did you ever see a video? It's like it's a picture of a robot with a dump truck, and the sound effects is just clank, 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 and you hear a bone snap.
Yeah, that's data proven though. Your statistic is data proven. Now, along came a spider here. One thing I found interesting was, like, it's obviously very early on in the series itself. I mean, you're only 9 episodes in, so what you end up getting is you're not so far out of the loop of clearly a show that's going to have a narrative that connecting narrative that you're out of the loop or you don't know what's going on. It's still early enough that you can kind of look at this, watch it, and you're not confused about what's going on. You're not lost significantly. We'll talk more about it. The only issue that I had was just like when the flashback started, the fact that they didn't really tell you when the flashback started. You just kind of had to make sure that you noticed that it was happening. But outside of that, you're not really stuck in a situation where you're lost story-wise on where things are going.
Yeah, animated hits a really sweet spot between like serialized episodes of random events. You can even say filler content and like main narrative as it goes along. This is one of the episodes where context doesn't matter too much as it's told throughout most of Season 2 and the very tail end of Season 1.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. And like this one, would you say that this one is... Because again, I'm coming in here at the time, by the way, nostalgically for Cartoon Network. We're going to obviously talk about Cartoon Network for 3 out of 4 of these. Inadvertent, but that's how it goes. For 3 out of 4 of these. But Cartoon Network 2008, it's like I was much more deep in Chowder, Flapjack, Laszlo, My Jet Partner's a Monkey, Foster's. Transformers, not necessarily the one that I was looking at. In fact, I'd say I was probably switching off over to El Tigre or some other show at the same time.
Same.
So, like, was this episode, Along Came a Spider, was this, like, more narrative heavy, or is it, like, is this the norm for the series? Is this basically moving at the pace that a normal episode would kind of move?
This is more narrative heavy, and it's actually very dark. I've seen this episode at least 4 times. Every time I rewatch it, I notice a new detail. And like as we talk about it, it'll slowly unravel, but how they mix 2 different series into one and combine it in such a beautiful way, you're gonna love it once you really notice it. Especially if you're a Beast Wars fan.
Gotcha. Alright, so the overall point of, or journey of Along Came a Spider is essentially that the Autobots are learning, or this group of Autobots are learning about Halloween from Sorry. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
What's the pronunciation? Sorry?
Oh, just Sorry.
Yeah. I was making sure. I was like, is this Sorry correct? Yeah. From Sorry, who is the human girl that works with them. Optimus, at the same time, is getting these flashbacks to a situation that happened long ago, and that situation impacts them through the episode. I will say, there's... This is I would say that this works out kind of like in the sort of classic Saturday morning cartoon format, and one of the things that I found was like, now, sorry, in this episode, we did Jackie Chan Adventures. Look, we've talked about Jackie Chan Adventures a bunch, but one of the things that we talked about before is that Jade.
Fuck that show! You guys did like fucking 5 episodes.
You gotta get over it. But Jade gets in at times. You want to see Jackie Chan do his thing, and like. It sometimes feels like Jade takes away from that until she becomes her own thing later on as the series progresses. Here, this series, it's not that really because this Transformers is approaching it from it seems like a different angle. So you're not missing out just because Sorry is there with them. You know what I mean?
She does become a Transformer.
Well, thanks.
I was
Spoilers!
on myself back because
you're not gonna watch the series.
I'm not.
You don't know that. Fuck.
She becomes a Transformer, so she does go into her own later on.
Yeah, I'll say this.
Yeah,
I
but I mean,
Wait, does her organs become robotic and shit?
No, she's not. She's not a typical.
I got.
Actually, you go ahead.
I got you. All right, so I highly recommend watching the series. Sorry, is one of the reasons because of it. So with Transformers. They have baby forms. They're known as proto-forms, where they morph into their Cybertronian shell. Sorry is half human by Professor Sumdac, her dad, and half Cybertronian because she is a proto-form that has human DNA enacted inside of her. We're not going to see it till way later on, but when she quote-unquote transforms, she might legitimately be the strongest character in the show. And that's after seeing all of the craziness of Season 2 and Season 3. But that's going to be way ahead. But once you see it, you're going to be like, oh my god, this little girl legit could beat Optimus Prime.
Absolutely. Hey, Mr. Fidget Spinner, can you, what are you doing? Right. Get off the VCR. Stop messing with the... Alright, so, I will say, like, as the story progresses, I'll be honest with you, like, you know, we get the moments where he has the flashbacks, he sees the progression, and toward the end of the episode, this is my hang, and like, you know, I think this is the thing about certain Saturday morning cartoons and why they hold on to me so much. Like when I see a certain situation that seems like familiar, or a situation that is clearly going to cling on to a main character, I get a little bothered by it. For instance, obviously, you know, you have Alita, and you know she gets affected by these spider-like creatures on that Decepticon ship. And later on, she's there and she blames Optimus. And then we hear, like, through that conversation with her and Optimus, she literally explains, well, if you did rescue me, I'd be a lab rat. So, do you want him to rescue you? Are you mad that, like, it's like she's clearly conflicted, but then it all falls on Optimus, and it makes him feel like he's guilty. And I think that's a real issue I have, is like, man, like, I mean, it's not, it shouldn't be on him at all. It kind of is ridiculous that it's on him, but now he's, after this episode, carrying the weight of the idea that he was at fault. Like, that's probably the only core issue I have with, because like I love Bumblebee's personality in this. I love this. At this point, it's a trio, you know, with Sorry, but you know, like I don't like where it leaves Optimus necessarily.
Furthermore, like they blamed him when it wasn't his fault. In first place, the bit that was on the damn planet when Sentinel basically
come on, guys,
let's go get some of that freaking energon.
Yes,
I do. Let me say this about the story. I do like the fact that the Transformers are from the get-go known by everybody on the planet. Like everyone knows who they are. They're not secrets. That's why they're out in the Halloween episode.
Yes,
that's one of the things I do like, because like if you watch Prime or Cybertron or any one of those, they're always hidden, out of sight. Robots in disguise.
Exactly.
But I do like the fact that the more they do show up, like when Prowl shows up. Did Prowl show up yet in this final series?
Oh yeah, Prowl. He was in episode 1 with Ratchet.
Okay, so he's not in the episode today. But yeah, I like the fact that they're all just out in the open and no one's like the army's not coming after them like what is something like doing the movies. It's just like they're here.
They're just existing.
Like because there were already robots on the planet
Right.
to begin with, so this is not a new thing.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like you were saying, back to the episode. The whole thing was Sentinel blaming him, attacking him, throwing him down, saying this is y'all.
That's very high school drama level like stuff, and I get that for like a Saturday morning cartoon type series. You need that drama, but it feels like again, this is the type of situation where Optimus is clearly the more intelligent out of that trio. He's technically in that moment better than all of them, more logical than all of them, but the guy with the brawn inside of the brains is the one that leads forward, and it puts him in a different situation. And then when it's his time to actually lead, he gets the consequence for it. And it's not necessarily incorrect from a societal norm, but it just makes it the norm. Well, that's all.
Oh, it's all good. I was gonna say you're gonna see.
A little more of that in the series.
It's Sentinel. Okay, so you see Sentinel's chin, right?
Yes. It does in fact exist, yes.
His chin is not as big as his brain. There will be a lot of times where Sentinel will do some fuck shit, only for it to spin, where Optimus must bust him out. And it's down to the core end of the series that Sentinel kind of gets that, maybe this leadership thing isn't what I entirely thought it was. And this is one of those cases of when you first see Sentinel, you're gonna hate him, he's gonna like annoy the shit out of you.
Right.
But there's kind of like a lovable oaf mentality to him from time to time.
Understandable.
But what happened to Optimus though, it sucks because he took the accountability and the responsibility. But
it's not on him at all.
Yeah.
Zero of it was on him. He made the correct call, but was dragged into it. He made the correct call when he didn't. There was no visual of her all. And the idea, again, is just like, because again, clearly this is a thread that will continue through the series, because at the end of the episode, we have her crying on a different rooftop. And it's like, come on, man. Like, either have her, be all in, or have her not. But we're going to do this conflicting thing that probably will drag out a little more, and then we'll resolve it. But instead, Optimus is going to carry that weight, and that's how it'll go. But, look, traumatic things happen, I understand that, but it's just, that's, like, the only reason I'm pissed at that is because that's one, like, a future series that does that is Obi-Wan and Reva, Reva the Inquisitor, just has this bloodthirsty thing that she wants to go after Obi-Wan, but the reason that she thinks, she doesn't even think about, why did Obi-Wan leave her? He didn't leave her and the rest of the younglings on purpose. He was trying to defeat Anakin. That's the whole point. That's why episode 3 at the end, you have the lightsaber fight. He wasn't leaving them behind, but it's just, there's no empathy there, and it's just it's a parallel. So it's all right, here's another example of that. That's all. But again, this was cool. Had a spider in it.
Yeah, I thought
Mark, you've been silent lately. Tell us.
You guys kind of just had it all covered. I don't really. I think I share the same opinions as you, Brian. So that's why I was just letting you take care of it. So this show it's. I was never really a big Transformers fan.
What?
Gasp.
Hold on. O.J. Simpson. See, I gotta show you that YouTube video.
Oh my
god. I've only seen the fucking 80s movie and Michael Bay Transformers 4 and Rise of Beasts, and that's my Transformers history right there.
Oh yeah.
But so I'm just going into this there's a lot of mention of MacGuffins, the Allspark and whatever MacGuffin they're mentioning is okay, that's a thing. And what was unclear was the odd flashbacks. It wasn't clear what it would shift over. Yeah. Until I saw the characters, because you informed me what was going on with flashbacks. Yeah. As soon as I figured that out, I was okay, once I see these characters, we're going back in time again.
Because there's no color filter difference. There's no this many years ago, it just kind of fade into Optimus's like face, and maybe that means he's going into a flashback.
Yeah.
And like once you see it the first time, then you recognize every other time. But because there was no different like specific line cut, if you walked in to the series at like the 4-minute mark, you would have been like, "Oh, that must be current." And then like it fades again into back to the pumpkin patch or whatever.
And the episode itself is not very, exciting. It just starts off very slow. So like, it's definitely the type of episode for like if you've already been watching just been watching the show up to this point. I wouldn't say it's an episode to jump in on. I'm not saying it's a bad episode. I'm just saying like if you like, you should probably be used to the characters by now if you're already gonna like.
I mean, this is only 9 episodes in though.
Yeah.
You're not too far.
I think 9 episodes is a bit. 9 episodes is enough.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's like a streaming series run apparently these days.
Yeah.
So.
Now most shows get 8.
Yeah. This is mainly it's an episode just to showcase off Black Arachnium. I will say I find it interesting that,
and I understand why they did that.
Yeah.
Different reasons for different people.
Different strokes for everybody. But I was going to say, I find it interesting when Optimus looks down the Decepticon symbol. I'm not sure you guys caught this, but the way he said, "You're with the Decepticons now," was almost a bit pompous. It's like, really, you joined them? And it's like, damn, she don't got much of a choice. Because she would have been experimented on in, like, Iacon. She came back as an owl.
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
There wasn't much of a choice, and that's why it's like, I understand that she's in a conflicted situation where she was put in that, but when you do put a character in that situation, then you shove the main character into having some sort of weight into a situation that was not their fault. That's true. It kind of falls into.
What's up? Do the Transformers have like? It's clear that they have a libido. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, because when the spider lady when the spider transformed into a lady,
and she was up to the
big green dude, he was like,
oh! He literally did something.
Something. They have a libido. Like, are they?
It's like Cars.
It was Yo, it's weird. So I think it's two things. Either Bulk legit had a libido, or it's more so that he felt those spikes touch him or something beforehand. Because it said when Black Arachnia hits you with those spikes on top of her, she drains your power.
On top, you say?
Some shit like Rogue, right?
So it could be either that it's literally that it's draining the power out of you, or he's having a moment.
That looks like a reaction of a...
No,
that looks like
he's having a moment.
Yeah, it looks like a reaction of arousal.
Like, there's no fucking thing about it. Yes, they have libidos. Yes, they bang. Let's move it along.
I can only do... Oh, yeah. Fun fact before we move on. Oh, shit.
What? Pause.
It's Black Arachni's,
And, you're back.
The CreepCrew is back, and we're all ready to see some black. How you guys doing?
My God. That's a motto, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, this is going to be a slight Jeopardy question. Guess who Black Arachnid's voice actress is?
Number 5. Number 5.
Yeah, Cree Summer.
You can hear that voice. It's like, that one's clear as day.
Alright, so another point about this episode is, the little girl dresses up as Optimus Prime.
Why do you have to bring this up?
Is she like pretty much doing like the robot version of blackface?
No, she's not. Because she's just paying homage to the character.
I mean, okay, so
she didn't wear no, it's just a hat and a body outfit.
Alright, so like, what if like there's a little white girl that admires you and like you're like, I want to dress up just like Anthony.
Then she can wear a suit and she can wear
dress up in blackface.
Oh my God, you're pushing this, guys. All right. So that was Transformers Animated. Along Came the Spider, guys. Tell us what you think in the comments below. Of course, we're gonna go ahead and move on.
One month out of the year, there's a party at the JetX Haunted headquarters. You're invited to JetX Shocktober. Party like it's Halloween all Shocktober long, with a different bootastic marathon every Sunday night.
Hey, enter like a ninja.
Get your scream on for JetX Shocktober. The haunting continues all month long on
JetX.
This Halloween season, beware of Scare 2 Fright Days. Every Friday in October, we're scaring up a different Scooby movie, followed by new episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog and Bryn and Evil. Then on Halloween, it's a 24-hour Courage Marathon. It's Scare 2 Fright Days, Friday at 8 on Cartoon Network.
Good evening, and welcome to Shocktober on Cartoon Network. Tonight, we feature the grim adventures of Billy and Mandy Halloween Special. Be sure to watch every night this month for more of Shocktober, only on Cartoon Network.
All right, welcome back. We are talking Billy and Mandy, of course. If you grew up in the 2000s, you watched Cartoon Network in the 2000s, you lived in the 2000s, and you have a fan now, you watched The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. This was definitely a juggernaut for Cartoon Network in the 2000s, and of course this was chosen by the star himself, Martin. I mean, everyone can understand why you would choose such a legendary
What show is this?
Why you chose Billy and Mandy. Explain to the audience, like, what brought you to this choice and your nostalgia for Billy and Mandy? So.
I think back when it first came out was 2002, 2001 when it first came out, Billy and Mandy. One of those shows, I watched it back when it was on, what's called Grim and Evil.
Grim and Evil.
Yeah, until a point where I didn't even know it broke off into its own show. Until it just popped up one day. But after the Halloween episode, it was just one of those, it's just the long line of Halloween episodes that come along around that time. You get the Dexter, Ed and Eddie, Cow Chicken, all of them, but like Billy and Mandy was like the newest one that got a chance besides this was the newest one.
Yes.
And it stood out to me for a good while, especially since it aired like that entire weekend.
Right.
Every day. But it was fun to watch. You never go wrong with a Billy and Mandy.
Going back to the Grim and Evil thing, I do like how they keep referencing the fact that the two shows broke off. Like, there was one episode when like the duck kept farting, and like the bear and the brain made cameo. Like, I'm not even on this stupid show anymore.
I remember that.
It's the brilliance of those two of that creative team. I mean, that's just how strong the writing was. I mean, you could just have the ideas were brilliant, and that little bit of time where Evil Kung Carne ran at the same time as Billy and Mandy it was magical because again, like. You had the success of like Fairly Odd Parents over Nick, but then over here, Billy and Mandy was just so much fun to just constantly have on. And of course, this was at a time when Cartoon Network was just airing everything. But like, Billy and Mandy was awesome. Again, you had the goofiness, the brainlessness of Billy, and just the deadpan humor from Mandy, and just the cool factor that Grimm brought to the table. So
I love cynical, like, dark humor. And this is just like, this show is like what's one of the shows that helped make Cartoon Network just feel more adult compared to definitely Disney Channel and most that was on a Nickelodeon. Like there was the other shows would be cynical sometimes, but not as cynical as this.
That's right. And again, Zim was only made to compete with Cartoon Network. So.
Yes,
you weren't gonna.
That was their Billy and Mandy.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
I will say I find it funny how Billy and Mandy they made fun of everything from like Harry Potter to how Hostel Gato is a reference to, I forgot the main character's name, but he's the main character in Escape from New York and Escape from LA. I swear to God he's a reference to him. And they'll just go with it, and they'll just keep on pushing the joke as far as they can go. Now, it would be quite conspicuous if we had Hostel Gato, maybe if Jeff was involved, and a certain elephant known as Fred Fretburger would also come in their own special too.
Yes, indeed.
But we'll save that one for later, though.
Yes.
And the special could have been a fucking show if shit went. It like in a parallel universe, if shit went correctly.
Yes.
That would have been like one of the greatest shows ever.
Absolutely.
We'll keep this one under the books with an iron fist. Huh?
Wow, let's take care of it right now. Turn on the fucking movie.
So
hurry up.
Jacked Up Halloween came out at a very busy 2003 for Cartoon Network. In fact, as you saw in our sort of little commercial break there, Cartoon Network had the Spooktacular there, and that was just a very well executed block for a Halloween theming that just aired all around October and just sort of had these cool little moments and was themed very well. And you know, you had a good time. Again, the next series that we're talking about was a part of that Spooktober. So you just had this very special energy around Cartoon Network and how much effort they were putting in. I mean, you know, again, the bumpers had so much effort put in. Again, they're just bumpers, and they had put that much effort put in. So Billy and Mandy's Jacked Up Halloween. Again, with this one, it's just these, you know, Martin.
It's just the moments, like, because, like, from the get-go, you see him watching a scary movie, only to find out that it's just a bunch of lumber.
Right.
And it's just, it's just the delivery of Billy's whenever something happens.
Anytime.
Throughout the series, it's just, when you just know you're going to laugh. Like I was saying earlier, one of my favorite moments of his is just going through Grimm's chest and throwing stuff out.
Just throwing it.
And then all of a sudden you just throw one thing and then immediately catches it. I would laugh out loud. My brother used to hate that I laughed out loud.
No, my favorite Billy reaction ever is like when they're trying to fix his eyes, and he like takes a slice, and he's like, and he like has clicks all of his teeth like, it's just so fucking random.
And again, everyone talks about the Ed and Eddie sound design that they use. Billy and Mandy had some great stuff too. Like, oh my god, it was great to go back while we were watching this and just hear all of the hilarious, goofy sound effects.
How the hell do you describe? How do you describe the synopsis of the show? Like two kids are like just
Billy and Mandy
trick the Grim Reaper to being their best friend.
I mean, that's the synopsis of the first episode, but like the show overall.
It's just misadventures with the Grim Reaper, a dumb child, and a witty girl.
I don't know.
That works.
Yeah. I mean, it's only the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, so.
Two
adventures. You could even call it Adventure Time with the Grim Reaper if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. But
I like they made him they make the Grim Reaper Jamaican.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Again, like there's just personality pouring through every episode. Just the comedic decisions. Again, like there's just so many moments. Jack-O-Lantern is such a obviously he's a folklore character that's been around for a long time, but the way that they utilize him here is hilarious. Is like it's just funny. It's like it even applies now more than ever, as you guys were talking about earlier. Like he would be the most annoying influencer of all time. Like he's literally just ahead of the curve. He'd be the most annoying influencer. He'd be going around bothering people all the time until everyone goes, you know what, we're done with your stuff. We're gonna get the president or someone to execute you. You know, like that's it. So yeah, like I it goes as far as literally the Grim Reaper himself, like saying, "Hey man, like all right, like you're pissing everybody off. So we have to make a contract. You're just not going to show your face around here." And he still becomes an asshole later. Like he gets his opportunity later on as a fucking Pumpkinhead. He still does it.
Okay, so and the Grim Reaper story was like he still does pranks every Halloween, but like. At this special, he's just sort of minding his own business in his house, and Billy just knocks on his door.
Yes.
I gotta say,
it's the cartoon coincidence that
I know that's what makes it funny.
We got to keep the story moving, but it is funny that he went right to the house and immediately got the site took him.
Yeah, the site says property of the Grim Reaper right on it.
Ridiculous.
Billy is the greatest op of all time because if it's something from the main characters, he won't necessarily do it. But if it's something for the villain, he doesn't really have a problem. It was the same shit with the Brain episode. He found at least fucking over 15 people.
I love that episode. That was a beautiful parody of his Little Shop of Horrors.
And Billy easily just got Grim Sight, and he's like, "Oh, okay, here you go, Jack."
So damn catchy. Brains, on my
brain.
And then immediately becomes friends with the dude, to the point where he was about to walk off on Grim as he was about to get his head chopped off.
I don't care what you want, fucking Grim. He's my friend. Like, he was chill. He was chill. He doesn't even care. Like the only time that Billy had a little bit of conviction was when the show literally shoved a fucking light bulb on his head, smacked him with it, and realized, and he's like, "Oh crap! Wait a minute!" Like that's when the show literally shoves it back to Billy on his head. Like, hey man. Come on.
And then he comes to the funniest part. I love the delivery of his line when she's pouring milk into the hot sauce.
Oh my god.
And wait, put him in the hot dog girl.
Yeah, man, it's gold. And again, Jack is kind of he's a terrible person, but he's kind of justified because the Grim Reaper lied. He literally that wasn't a true contract. It wasn't even a true contract. He just now if you sign a deal for devil, you can't really.
He signed the deal for immortality, not to get his head chopped off.
Yeah, he didn't sign for that. So he's justified being upset at Grim and wanting his get back. So that's also the funny thing about this episode is he's not that wrong. He's not even that wrong. He's an asshole, but he's not that wrong. So
it wouldn't have been that much of a problem if Billy just didn't show up to his door with Grim's
that would have solved a lot. The only thing else that I'd like to talk about is obviously Irwin. Irwin is ridiculous. Hey, buddy, look, man.
He's a show's punching bag.
He's the punching bag, but he's going around. Different costumes. He's supposed to have a scary costume. He progressively gets less scary as it goes on until.
I love the realistic sheep that boss behind him when he's a fucking
Rainbow Pete.
Yeah, Rainbow Pete.
Yeah, those are ridiculous.
Bah.
But this is a genuinely fun Halloween special. It's a great time. I think.
This show is never their show is never not a good time.
But also fits in you could watch. You talked about Scooby Doo earlier. That could be any Halloween episode. And not every Grim Adventure episode is in that vein, but a lot of them are. This one could just get cycled through, and obviously they usually wouldn't put this Halloween episode in the random collection for the rest of the year. But it's just a fun time with a bunch of characters that are going on, have random situations going on. It's a great time. Again, this is Cartoon Network at its best in the middle of the 2000s, early 2000s.
Oh yeah.
So
I think we just end here because we're definitely gonna do more Billy and Mandy in the future.
Oh, 100%. Yep, guys. All right, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy jacked up Halloween. Had a good time with it. Let's keep it moving.
We want your big kids meal. Not so fast, Harry. I'll get your double cheeseburger yet.
Hamtaro is screaming into Burger King. Now in every big kids meal, there's a Hamtaro toy. You can put on their mask and have a Halloween blast. There's 8 in all, only at Burger King.
Coming up on Shocktober.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am the great Halloween Phantom. Welcome to the ultimate Halloween party.
Sweet, nice and sweet. You look good enough to eat.
Does anybody have any idea who's wearing the scary wolfhound costume?
The Hamtaro Halloween Special, premiering tonight at 8 on Shocktober, only on Cartoon Network.
All right, this is Hamtaro now. This was a series that I just randomly considered. I made this choice myself here because when I thought about what to choose for a little bit, when we were talking about the idea for the Halloween special, of all these creeps, I was thinking, and I was like, man, I just remembered those Burger King toys, that little, very brief run where Hamtaro had a physical presence. And this wasn't a movie, this wasn't anything. It wasn't a movie. It was just for a show that aired on Cartoon Network for a little bit of time. And that's incredible. It had such a brief run, and it was there for a couple of years, not a minute or so, but still, the fact that it had that Burger King promotion, and I remember having at least 3 or 4 of those things as a kid. I thought, man, I don't remember what Hamtaro was like as a show, but I'd love to just go back, take a look at it, and do a CartoonChat little retrospective on it through Halloween specials. And this is Ham Ham Halloween. Now, this one follows, overall, it follows this, obviously the point of Hamtaro is, if you haven't seen it before, it follows just a group of hamsters on misadventures in essentially the real world in Japan.
Doing dumb shit, chilling out, smoking crack, smoking weed.
And just to understand, Hamtaro was a franchise that started from a manga.
I think he jumped on pumpkin seeds. That's a get them drunk.
But it started from a manga in the late 90s, and then it quickly grew to extreme popularity. Literally by 2002, only a few years after it was conceived, it made over $2 billion. It wasn't as successful in the U.S. In fact, it kind of faded quickly after about the early 2000s. It would fade out by the mid-2000s in the U.S., but it was just picked up for Cartoon Network, and that's why we had it for a little bit here. And, so Ham Ham Halloween, overall, this is like, it's kind of fun because this is just a casual, fun show. I forgot how casual and, like, there's no real direction that they want to go in. It's just, hey, here's Halloween, here's a little bit of a misadventure situation, and, they learn about, what Halloween is, they learn about costumes, the elder hamsters play a prank on them, the actual humans have their own Halloween situations, and that's it. Is there another? So, but that is Hamtaro. That's kind of the idea of the franchise. So,
going to that Burger King commercial real quick. It's like, the boy just turned into a hamster. Like, hamsters scare easily, so like, the moment if someone was to turn you into a hamster, you just die of shock, and that's kind of just the end of that.
I mean, now that you think about it, that's very much the plot of Spies in Disguise, and that's why I hate Walter Beckett's character in that movie, because he doesn't want to turn the spy, the key spy, back into an actual agent, even though that could solve the problem for the government. He just kind of says, I want to use my technology on you, and then I'll turn you back when I want.
Also, the entirety of the show has to take place between 2 to 3 years. Because that's how long hamsters have to live.
Appreciate you.
Well, she doesn't age throughout the series.
They age. The minute that show ends production, they're gone. You don't know it yet.
They're dead.
Anyway, I gotta get us a 1 out of 10. Not my opening.
Fucking Christ!
I do. The show itself was incredibly adorable.
1 out of 10 means you think this thing is dog crap. What do you mean? What do you mean? 1 out of 10. That's like
opening theme.
So you think this is worse? Wait. So you think this is worse than Kung Fu Panda 4?
You listen to me.
You said 1 out of 10.
The opening theme
is 1 out of 10.
Yes.
What? That thing is adorable. What are you talking about?
That's not my theme. That's not the theme I grew up on.
Oh.
That one. That's the one.
That's the other one. That's the one. Okay. That's okay. Right. This is a completely different intro.
And yeah, when I first heard them, I was like, wait, is this the one from Cartoon Network? Because the one from Cartoon Network was a totally different song.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
I remember the song.
I used to watch Hamtaro back. I used to watch Hamtaro back in the day. It's like the way it's structured. It's like a Playhouse Disney Nick Jr. type of show where it's like, hey, it's these wholesome characters. There's no real issues. There's
no goals.
They're just doing a thing. And it's wholesome. It's nice. It goes well. Yep. Sometimes there's a little bit of an issue, but it's a non-issue. They solve it. But in the end, they did the thing, and they're friends. They love each other. They had a good day. That's the end.
I think you just summed it up.
Yeah, and that's literally the structure for the Halloween episode. Like, again, because it's all just about learning about what it is. I will say, like, we talked about this, Mark, when you were catching up on everything earlier today. Like, it is interesting that this is obviously from 20 years ago. Halloween seems to be an outlier for most of the people in that society of the show, because when they're dressing up for Halloween, no one else knows what they're doing. No other, like the human characters, no other humans in the surrounding area know what these kids are doing. Even though you would think if Halloween is common. And I don't know if at the time Halloween was common in Japan, but if Halloween is common, you would think that they would all know that, oh yeah, these kids are probably dressing up for Halloween.
I know.
But they looked at them like they were crazy.
I know, like, I guess maybe it's the holidays treated differently over there. 'Cause I know, like, over there, Christmas is treated like a couple's thing. It's like a second Valentine's Day.
I think it's along the lines of the dialogue between the Japanese and the English was versely different. So it might have been something. It might have been something they were saying.
But it was more that it was more just the visual of what they're saying.
Yeah, I know the visual, and it looks like everyone's don't know what they're talking about. But maybe, as I'm saying, maybe
they weren't even talking at times. It was just like when they were walking past people.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about in the parking lot when he would talk to the children, and And the children.
But even after that, as they were walking down the street, it was like, what the what are these freaks doing in costumes? Like, don't they know it's October? It's too late for that.
Well, like, modern anime, 'cause I don't go to Japan, I haven't been there yet, but, like, modern anime has taught me that, like, cosplayers are normal in Japan. They just walk around, so it's like, oh, like, I assume people in costumes are just, like...
Modern anime, wait. You sound like that's real.
Huh?
You sound like that's real. Like,
yeah, that's my only reference, and I don't like fucking watch Real World Japan. That's boring. I watch that shit animated. So yeah, modern anime has taught...
What?
So modern anime has taught me that, like, fucking cosplayers are normal in Japan. They just, like, walk around sometimes.
So, Hamtaro, look, again, like you said, it's just there's cute moments. That's the whole thing about the show.
He's changing subject because he's knowing him right.
It's just cute, casual. You've got the one that doesn't talk much and just says sound effects. This isn't complicated. But again, it was fun to revisit. This has there's no bearing on anything here. In fact, if you were to play this in a collection, this is probably if you had a marathon in the middle of the night, like, and you were with friends, and it was like from 9 p.m. to, let's say, 3 a.m. If this was on at like 11 and you were still wanting to party but you were a little out of it, this might be the time to take a nap. Just because there's nothing interesting really happening, but they're adorable. All right, like, they're adorable.
Again, it's a wholesome, no issue, like, show. It's like you gotta be in. It's like same thing with like a Disney Junior show or a play. Or
don't disrespect
like
that.
Fuck you.
You just disrespected Hamtaro.
It's a fucking baby show. What the fuck?
It is not a baby show.
It's a Japanese baby show. Fuck off.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So
it's like a Disney Junior show, a playoff Disney show. You just gotta be in the mood.
All right. It's parallel to Baby Looney Tunes. All right. Yes. Fine.
Yeah. You guys just gotta be in the mood for this type of stuff. And I'm fine. I'm fine with like
in
like
the
if I'm
mood.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Yeah.
You're not getting into this?
Nah,
yeah, I wouldn't get into this either. Mark needs to get in the mood to see some.
What the fuck you talking? Like, yeah, if you're in like a wholesome mood to like watch wholesome shit.
Mood. There we go. See there. Now
what the fuck you thought I was talking? Explain. Explain, you fucker.
Mark, I mean, if you want to get into the mood to see.
What is the mood? What is the mood?
It's your mood. It's your mood.
So I'm right.
Yes, you're horny for hamsters.
Okay, what do you mean by horny? Explain everything right now.
Who is trick-or-treating in Halloween disguises? Can you solve the costume mystery? If you get the trick, you can get the treat. Keep your eyes inside the folks box.
The X-Ray Extreme Halloween is next Saturday. Find out how you could be the lucky one who win your weight in Nestle's Wonder Balls. Or one of 500 to win a year's supply of Sweet Tarts. Watch the Box next Saturday for details.
For the first time in years, Disney's biggest star is back in theaters.
I'm back in business.
When a shocking experiment brings out the animal in Mickey Mouse.
Oh my gosh.
It's an all-new, all-Mickey cartoon adventure. Runaway Bryan, rated G. Playing in theaters exclusively with Disney's A Kid in King Arthur's Court. Rated PG. Starts Friday, August 11th at a theater near you.
Explain yourself right now!
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're not going to talk about Hamtaro.
Horny bastard!
We're not going to what the hell? Oh my god. We're going to jump from a hamster to a mouse. In fact, we're going to talk about the most iconic mouse, Jerry. No, obviously Mickey Mouse. Now this is
Tom's a victim.
No, this is Runaway Bryan. Now, for every other thing, I didn't do any background research, but this thing was incredible. I'm just going to go through a bit of the detail, and then I'm going to throw it over to Mark. But this was directed by Chris Bailey. This was his directorial debut, but he was an animation supervisor, a character animator, an assistant animator on dozens of projects, including The Lion King, Little Mermaid, Oliver and Company, The Great Mouse Detective, and many more. He would later co-direct Paws of Fury, Legend of Hank. I knew that thing knew what it was. That thing, is it mid? Is it bad? Absolutely. But it knows what type of movie it is. And that's what you get
I mean, did some work on
a guy like Chris Bailey. What?
He did some work on Kim Possible.
He did, absolutely, and that's the type of work you get from Chris Bailey. The story and idea were by Tim Hauser. He's a storyboard assistant that actually worked on MLP, the MLP series in its debut in the mid 80s. He was an animator on shorts and movies from the late 80s into the early 90s. You had music that was by John Debney. Now this guy is known for a number of different TV series. He would later do music for Emperor's New Groove, which is probably like, you talk about a guy that kind of got in tune with understanding that. Like, the music is so critical in certain moments of that movie. Barnyard, by the way, which also had some great musical moments there. The Garfield movie, not the new one. He did the music for the latest Garfield movie.
Yeah, there's a
the Chris Pratt
2004.
movie, the one that Mark said was his movie of the year, and he also
It's better than If.
he did music for a pup named Scooby-Doo and the famed TV series of the 80s. This had a release date of 95 in the States and 96 globally. It was tied to different movies. This was nominated at the Academy Awards for Best Animated Short, but it lost to Wallace and Gromit: A Close Shave.
That Wallace and Gromit deserves that award. You can't fight Wallace and Gromit, man.
Yeah, like I was like, Matt. I was like,
how are we on the same page? I was about to say,
I was like, how did this lose?
Wallace and Gromit.
I'm like, how does this lose? And then I realized, when I looked it up, I was like, Wallace and Gromit. That's good.
So new movie coming out this year. It's a sequel to the fucking Trouser Short. God damn, I love this year.
Mark, that was when does that come out?
Probably sometime like in fall. I don't know.
Yeah, that comes out. That probably already came out, Mark, because we're recording this in October. Or we're not. We're not.
I'm going downstairs. I'm going to turn on Netflix.
This was like when we did the recordings, and then it was like, yeah, we watched Chicken Little, or you watched Chicken Little. It's like, yeah, because Chicken Little already came out, and it's like, no, it's still early. But overall, the key plot is like, distracted by video games, Mickey forgets his anniversary to Minnie, and after suddenly finding a last-minute solution in a newspaper, he inadvertently shows Minnie an advertisement for a cruise to Hawaii. She thinks it was his plan all along, and now he is stuck with it. Far exceeding the budget he had planned, Mickey finds an odd job that pays exactly the amount he was looking for. However, the hefty payday comes at the cost of sacrificing his brain to a mad scientist Mark. Why did you choose such a legendary short? I mean, you brought the Science Center to a science competition. I mean, Jesus God, man. Why'd you choose this?
Oh no, Mickey's gonna.
All right, so like, this is not a Halloween special per se,
but it is. It's lined up now.
Yeah, but it's a dark. It's probably one of the darkest. No, yeah, it's a dark Mickey Mouse cartoon. It's just a dark cartoon in general, and it's just like the spooky theming. It's good for Halloween. So like, what's a better time to talk about this than like the Halloween, just using the Halloween specials?
Yeah.
So about this short, I think the last. Like, this came out in 95. The last Mickey Mouse short to come out theatrically was The Prince and the Pauper. And that also was
that
a
was
short.
Like 1834.
Huh?
That was like 1834.
The fuck you talking about? That was like 1990. This shit. But like, Disney was like struggling to keep Mickey Mouse relevant. He was kind of. This is like the era of like Nickelodeon. You got cartoons like Rugrats. Doug, and like the biggest cartoon characters out at the time were Ren and Stimpy. Like a bunch of kids were going up on Ren and Stimpy, all the same like fucking 6 episodes, because they barely can get any episodes finished. But
even Warner Brothers is starting to rise again.
Oh yeah, like I think it was Space. No, Space Jam was not at the time.
You had Tiny Toon, you had Tiny Toon and stuff like that. That was early '90s, but still,
yeah,
its identity was coming back in.
Yeah, like. Mickey Mouse's identity was slowly fading, so like they was trying to change him. So it was like just
the rap. You remember the rap I played? That was around this time too. But
like they're like, hey, let's make Mickey like more edgy, more dark. So like they try to harken back into like a very like it's kind of referencing like a very older cartoon where like one of the black and white Mickey Mouse cartoons where Mickey Mouse has a dream about being like kidnapped by a mad scientist and being experimented on. So like they're trying to harken back into that and just like make a dark cartoon, do things like that they wouldn't normally do to Mickey. And the biggest the person who was rarely on board with this idea was Jeffrey Katzenberg. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leaves for DreamWorks, right? Guy that's
Yes.
for DreamWorks. Yeah.
Jeffrey Katzenberg. Yeah.
The guy that said AI is going to take everyone's job in a couple of years.
Yay. Yeah, he was the kind of for with this idea. And then after production was mostly finished, Jeffrey Katzenberg ended up leaving, and they had to show they showed the finished product to the new the partially finished product to the new executives, and they're like they try to give him some notes because this is bit too edgy for Mickey, and they try to get some notes and they try to cut things out, but it was kind of too little too late. It was it's mostly done. So, and after this short came out in theaters, because this was, I think in the beginning it was attached to the Kid and King Artist Court, you saw in the commercial, they were also attached to other movies too. They did get some complaints back, hey, this is too creepy. I was expecting some colorful. When I saw Mickey Mouse, I was expecting something colorful and happy, but this is this scared my kid. What the hell are you trying to show my kids? This isn't Mickey Mouse. And this was too this wasn't a too dark for Disney thing. This is they got complaints about this from actual families.
Yeah. I hold Mickey Mouse as high as Jesus Christ.
I wouldn't say it's too dark for Disney in that time, because Disney did have a bunch of movies that were a lot of stuff were cut out, because if you read the manuscripts for a lot of those movies,
they come out the Renaissance movies.
Yeah, a lot of those movies had a really, really dark scenes that got cut out.
that was those movies.
Not the mascot.
Not the mascot. Not Mickey Mouse.
Not Jesus.
This is not what they expect from Mickey Mouse.
I'm not saying.
In the skies of Magic Kingdom.
I don't think it's too dark for Disney. Not for Mickey Mouse.
Right.
I mean, for them, for the company, it was too dark for them. You're trying to be too technical. What the fuck, man?
It's the real stuff.
The cartoon was too dark for them.
Yeah. It came down to supply and demand, and people demanded that the show be lighter in this sense.
It just wasn't what they were expecting. They weren't really.
It's just a little bit of it's like if you saw Olaf's Adventure before Coco, and Olaf is stabbing 12 people.
Yeah.
It's I wasn't expecting Olaf. You said Olaf.
I mentioned,
I thought Olaf was lovable, and he walked up to a guy and he just stabbed him. What? I was excited about Coco. I love Coco, but what the f was that? What are we doing? I think that's kind of the energy.
Yeah. Like I mentioned before, Mickey Mouse relevancy was fading, so nobody was really asking for Mickey. But when they presented Mickey again, it was too dark for them. So it was it kind of made the issue kind of worse.
Yeah.
But still, it was a good animated short, and it was. They were proud of it initially, but now, after the complaints, they try to bury this. It's very hard to find. They did release it officially a couple times in a couple of DVD collections. I think there's a modern Disney Shorts collection that you can find this short on, but it's not on the DVD. The DVD itself has a code to get a digital copy of Runaway Brain, and you cannot watch this on Disney Plus. So you have to watch this by your own means.
Actually, Mark, I got a question.
Oh my god.
Do you think I have a crackhead idea in the sense of, do you think this was on purpose? They noticed their relevancy was fading, so they made it dark on purpose to get complaints so it would get attention? And that's how they circumvented the whole thing.
Not to cut Mark up, but Disney is at this time, Disney's at a brand high. They would have no reason to try to spin up anything to build more popular. This isn't like Disney now, where they kind of need desperate reasons for people to like them. Their parks were at an all-time high in the 90s. Their movies were at an all-time high in the 90s. Their TV content was at an all-time high in the 90s. They were, at the same time, I think 95, they buy ABC in 95. They are, I don't think there's any reason for them to actually go out and do this necessarily. In fact, they were doing more bullying to other companies. I think this is Anastasia, which was made by Don Bluth and came out in 95, was Disney put The Little Mermaid back in theaters the weekend Anastasia came out to take money away from
That's fucked up.
Anastasia. They were just they were insanely high in terms of the mindset of the American people. Like that, Disney was peak Americana. There was nothing really. I mean, a Chevy. I don't know, like McDonald's. Nothing really higher than Disney at that point.
But in terms of this cartoon itself, it is very dark. Like, there's a lot of shots that actually references horror movies. Like, there's like the shot where Mickey's in front of the laboratory. That's an exact reference shot of The Exorcist. There's a shot that references Army of the Dead when he like clicks the vacuum cleaner like a gun.
Yeah.
So like, there's horror movies references in this, and like the film is literally dark. The colors are really dark.
Yes.
And like the What disturbed people the most from this short was the monster Mickey. When like Pete's brain was in Mickey's body.
Yeah.
And he like and it was just the idea of Mickey Mouse being possessed that like rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Absolutely.
But like
I thought it'd be the death of the monkey doctor.
No, it was not that. But that added to it. I mean, there's a lot of dark
the
themes.
brain that's in Mickey's ears.
I mean, this movie is playfully dark, but like it's still very dark.
By the way, it's very interesting because obviously this is I was gonna bring this up at the end, but like it's so interesting that this is kind of like the audience tells them here like, hey, this is a bit dark. This isn't what we're looking for, but. This is kind of the thing that Disney leans into by the end of the decade.
Pause. Roach behind you, man.
All right, but I think what's interesting here is, like the audience tells them this is kind of not what we're looking for, at least for the mascot of the brand. But it's weird that Disney kind of falls into this sci-fi style. In fact, I get a lot of, and we'll talk more about just the story in general later. But like we get a lot of what I would say. It gets like you get the dark saturate, like the dark colors, things like that. Like very much what we kind of get later on with like Atlantis and other movies that just end up bombing financially, not doing as well. Where the grading's a little lower, it's not as highly saturated. The sciencey stuff is what they lean on more and more going into the 21st century as you start to get into the later years of the 90s outside of the Renaissance, and I get a little bit of like Lilo and Stitch here. Which is interesting. Like, obviously, this isn't 1-to-1, but, it's like you get, like, the creepy vibe. Now, it's more creepy than it is adorable with Stitch, but, it's interesting because the Mad Science Lab, very much in the same vein of just that crazy sciencey look that we get in Lilo and Stitch at times. But either way, going back to Runaway Brain, like, I love so much about this. I love this, like, this just reminds me that Disney needs to go back, or I would love if they went back. Obviously, they're never going to, probably, or if they are, the effort will be limited. But again, we get a few different settings.
Animated so freaking beautifully. This is what I miss about theatrical cartoons in general.
Yes.
And theatrical 2D animated cartoons in general. Well, actually, just like we don't really get much theatrical cartoons in anymore. Period. Even Pixar just stopped doing that shit.
Yeah, I mean that's like the settings alone are interesting because like we go from like this very like interesting like, and that's the part where you get bright lighting, but like it's a cluttered home, specifically in the living room area. Then you go to this, like I said before, this dark, techie, science-focused lab. Then you get this very beautifully illuminated skyline at sunset. Like all the settings are very like nice. Like they're very nice or they're diverse. Like you're not just stuck in one area or one style. You get different settings. I love I love how relatable, these are just notes, I love how relatable like the mascots are here. Because of course like there are moments where, here's a few moments that I noted, like Mickey obviously lies to Minnie in the heat of the moment to save his relationship. And it's like, in any relationship or situation where things are clearly at an edge point, you kind of go all in on something, and you might have been in a situation that's very relatable. There's the moment where Minnie is looking at an outfit and she's judging its price. It's like, that's just something that, I mean, you may have seen that in the new stuff, but it's just, again, it's a relatable thing. Like where, not on my price right now, not at my fucking pay right now, I can't fucking get this. Like, relatable. Again, Pete is always going after Minnie, that's no surprise. But I think a funny moment, at least to me, was where, like, Pete, who was in Mickey's body, stares at Minnie like a piece of meat, only for Minnie, who thinks it's Mickey, to see his expression, look back at the two-piece outfit, think it's about the two-piece outfit, and say, not until we're on the boat. Which is just like, again, it's just like, that's like a relationship thing. Like, where it's like, you see the person that you've been attracted to.
Exactly like an animal, yeah.
And it's just like, and he looks like that. It's like, that's just, that's a great, like, moment. It's a good laugh. Again, like, I just think this is like a peak Disney short at a time when Disney is at its peak. Like, I just think, again, it's vibrant, it's relatable, it's connecting to its audience very well, and it's a fun journey for just a short period of time.
I can see why it was, like, too dark for Disney back in the day, but, like, I think it's something that can be celebrated now, and, like, the Paul Rubens shorts have been doing, like, a lot with the Mickey Mouse brand. Yes. Like, even more than this. So, like even with, like, creepier concepts in this, they had, like, an episode with Zombie Goofy. But, like, with the Paul Rubens shorts, they're more playful. And they are all more lighthearted, so, like, that's what they get away with. I think, did you get a chance to watch Split Decisions?
I did.
That's like that's like their version of, like, how they would probably do Runaway Brand. It's just definitely lighter.
It's definitely
more
lighter.
frantic.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's definitely lighter. You get a little, and you get more time. Like, it's funny because they run about the same length of time.
Yeah.
But it feels like, I don't know why, but it felt like the pacing in Runaway Brain is so good that, like, it speeds by. This one, for some reason, I don't know about Split Decision, but it felt like it was almost double the time. I don't know what. Maybe because you're dealing with more characters and you're going with, like, all right, we're stopping here, we're moving to this situation. All right, we're stopping here, moving to this situation. I did like it still.
Because more of a series of gags.
Yes.
It's like, yeah. My favorite one was like, hey, you like Daisy, right?
yeah. Daisy!
Eat that Daisy!
By the way, it should just be called Donald Gets High. That's what it should just be called. Because that's
to explain what Split Decisions is, it's like, one of the newer Mickey Mouse cartoons from the 2010s where, like, Mickey Mouse is, like, more black and white. One of the newer cartoons. They aired on Disney Channel.
I've been watching the new Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Mark, this is a niche product. That's why I got canned, because no one's watching it. Yeah, Mark.
God damn, because fucking studios don't like cartoons anymore.
Well, that's another point.
That and fucking HBO Max.
But no one wants to
HBO Max Looney Tunes is done.
I mean,
nobody wants mascot cartoons anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody wants cartoons in general anymore.
I mean, they want AI cartoons. What are you talking about?
Actually, I was gonna say, what characters are featured in this? Is it just like Mickey?
It's Mickey, Minnie, Pete, and that's really it outside of secondary characters surrounding it. But that's or just minor characters surrounding it. But it's just it's the mascots, and I love that.
There is 2 cameo appearances from Zazu. Okay,
that makes sense because again, Lion King's so big last year, that prior year.
When when Mickey knocks on a door and gets sucked in, in the hole.
Yeah.
It's a split second you miss it, but Zazu gets sucked in there too. And then in the end of the short, when Pete yells at Mickey, giant Pete yells at small Mickey, Zazu flies out of his mouth.
Yeah. Again, there's so many little expression moments that I love, like when he sees that when she's the cruise, and then he realizes the price. Again, just his expressions. I just love.
He was trying to do mini golf.
Fun, just mini golf.
Yeah. I do love little Easter. I do miss the Easter egg cameos like that, where it's like blink you miss it.
Yeah, absolutely. This was. I think there was a reason why we had to end on this because this was absolutely grand. I think this was awesome. As someone that hasn't seen this, this is very special.
I need that video game Mickey was playing where the fucking.
Oh, dude, that was the other thing. Hey, man, you can't say this is new. This isn't new, man. All right, people got distracted 30 years ago. It's just part of life. It's part of life. All right, we just all
Mickey's a gamer confirmed.
He's a gamer confirmed. That's right. Yeah. So, hey, maybe you guys can remaster Split Second since you guys had Mickey playing the game. Can we get a Split Second, please, guys? Before we wrap up, we're going to do one final bumper, and we'll do some magic, and we'll go from there. All right, Mark, great choice.
Thank you.
This week, Kids WB is treating you to Halloween cartoons in the afternoon. Instead of seeing the regular big cartoony show, you'll see all the big cartoony stars in super spooky Halloween specials. Regular episodes of Pokemon are being taken to the Pokevet, so you can see the really scary ones. And regular episodes of Batman Beyond and the Batman Superman adventures are being replaced with... Wait a minute, they're not being replaced. Those things are always scary. It's Super Spooky Afternoons, starting Monday on Kids WB.
This Halloween, Blockbuster Video has a special treat for your whole family. You can take home any of these great Halloween classics for just $7.99. Or rent 2 movies and get them for $3.99. Now, if that's not a reason to scream, what is? Make it a blockbuster fright.
Indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the wrap up here, and of course, it's Halloween.
We end with bumpers now?
We gotta
That's cool.
give up. What?
We end with bumpers now? That's cool.
We always end it with.
Do we? Or do you edit that in post?
What? Yeah, in post. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm glad we. Even my co-host doesn't watch the show to the end, but it's fine, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm busy.
So, to all of you, here's some magic. Merry Halloween,
You're
everyone.
feeding people chocolate and it's like fucking 80 degrees outside? What the fuck's wrong?
You know the whole thing about M&Ms, right? Is the fact that they fucking don't melt and dip. Now, Mark, I got a special gift for Mark because, of course, last year, if you guys have watched, he was defending a certain group. So, Mark, here you go. Go ahead and take those. Look at that. You get toothbrushes. There you go.
I have a specific type. This is not fucking electric, dumbass. Get a fucking electric toothbrush.
And he's ungrateful. So, toothbrushes.
I use a specific type of brand toothbrush, bitch.
Everybody embrace your favorite root canal for M&M. Just don't think about the green one.
No. So, Mark, you still stand by the idea that you would rather have a toothbrush than you would some candy on Halloween?
What do you mean rather? I just said it's appreciated when people do that.
Again, screw those people. It's Halloween. Give them candy. Let them celebrate.
Yeah, if they are aware that everyone else is giving out candy, why not just give out toothbrush? Free toothbrush. It takes more. Why not? Yeah.
No. It's about Halloween candy. You're trying to rack up the points. You're trying to get as much Halloween candy as possible. That's the whole point of Halloween.
That's the way you get more shit. Free shit.
Yeah, candy. Would you want 2 fun-sized Milky Way bars or a travel-sized toothbrush?
I would rather not have the Milky Way bar, so I'll go the toothbrush.
All right, what's your favorite candy?
Yeah, bitch!
Okay, fuck you.
Fuck you!
Reese's.
Get!
What about Reese's cups?
Get!
Or two fun-sized Reese's cups, or a travel-sized.
Okay, now we're talking.
See, exactly. You've reached the kids where you need them, and guess what happens? Magic happens. It's not too difficult.
You want to have sex with kids?
No.
You said magic.
I really appreciate you, Mark.
Are you a creep? Are you you are the leader of the creep crew?
Mark, I'll tell you what. I named this specifically for you, the leader of the creeps. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all of you for being here. This was a special episode. I was joined alongside a number of creeps. The leader, like I said at the intro. Find him at K9 Biscuits. That's K9BISKUTS. I'll go ahead and call him a creep on his comment section. Maybe that'll get some traction.
Call Bryan a creep. He's the leader of the creep. He likes to fuck hamsters. That's why I chose Hamtaro.
Of course. You chose a mouse, so what does that mean about you? Anyway.
Human-sized mouse! That makes me a furry, not a zoophile! You fucking criminal! Go to jail!
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Then there's the man that chose Black Arachnid.
Oh wait, let me get there you go.
Clank, clank, clank.
Yeah, clank. Remember, when things go bump in the night, we're recording right outside your window.
There you go. Horace Simon, and of course the star himself. You can find him here. The man that chose the only goth girl that he needs in his life. Mandy.
Disclaimer. I am not a creep.
Go to jail!
I am not a creep.
These creeps are really just a great part of this program, and I appreciate them for being here. Guys, we appreciate you for watching. Of course, subscribe to all the creeps wherever you find them. Notably,
I have all the power here. You are not getting this audio file.
Notably, all the YouTube influencers that have
this is not getting uploaded to anywhere.
Apparently, they all can't stop touching children. So, guys, go ahead and appreciate you for watching. Stay tuned for more.
Not a creep.
Oh God. Well, at least Halloween's over. I don't have to worry about any monsters. Look at